I want to inspire the girls out there watching right now. The ones that some people think are too different, too quiet, too something. And if we don't fit that expectation of what people think we're supposed to be, good.
So over the past couple of years, we have seen athletes use their platforms to really speak out and affect social change. The latest is tennis superstar Naomi Osaka, who is ready to take on the Tokyo Olympics. She is the first Japanese-born player to win a Grand Slam and will represent Japan this summer after shocking the tennis world and taking a break from tennis in May to focus on her mental health. In a new essay in Time magazine, she says stepping away from the French Open helped her grow and taught her valuable lessons. She writes this, quote, "Lesson 1, you can never please everyone. The world is as divided now as I can remember it in my short 23 years. Issues that are so obvious to me at face value, like wearing a mask in a pandemic or kneeling to show support for anti-racism, are ferociously contested. I mean, wow." So when I said I needed to miss French Open press conferences to take care of myself mentally, I should have been prepared for what unfolded. I always try to push myself to speak up for what I believe to be right, but that often comes at a cost of great anxiety. I feel uncomfortable being the spokesperson or face of athlete mental health, as it's still so new to me, and I don't have all the answers. I do hope that people can relate and understand it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to not talk about it. There are people who can help, and there's usually light at the end of any tunnel. Joining us now is Cari Champion, host of the Naked with Cari Champion podcast, co-host of Cari and Jamal Stick to Sports. And we tried to have this conversation yesterday. Breaking news intervened, and I'm going to get your thoughts on that at the end. But why was this? I talked to someone from the tennis world today, and I said, why is she so riveting? Why did this bring everything to a halt? And she said, one, she didn't have a lot of support from the other players. This was really just her taking a stand for her. But she said, on the other hand, it could be a watershed moment. How do you see this?
Naomi, in so many ways, and we look back in history, there are these, what I like to call people who are perfect, the perfect storm. They come together and they take these stances that are very controversial for whatever reasons, but they are the perfect candidate, the perfect person for it. In the sense that she's really great at what she does. She's excellent, right? The first Japanese woman player to be ranked #1 at the WTA. And then she quietly just leads, gets along with most people, doesn't have any problems. And then she turns around and she says, I'm going to protest during the US Open and I'm going to wear masks every single day that I get on that main court. So, each mask will represent a name of someone who died. And that was so controversial. It reminded me, and this is me going way back, of what you hear about Arthur Ashe. He was a quiet, strong leader. And that is what Naomi is. And the reason why she got so much pushback is because the tennis world, God bless them, they just do not want to have any type of controversy. They want the rules to be the same. And so what she's experiencing on a smaller level in the world of tennis is what we're experiencing. This is a new generation. These are new players. They have a new approach to life. The rules have to change. The etiquette has to change. Her saying it's okay not to be okay is a beautiful thing. But the problem is that we're in a world of information and everyone felt they were entitled to find out why she did not feel okay and did not want to hold any press conferences.
Yeah, when I read it, I have a physical reaction to that line. And when you repeat it, I have a physical reaction to that line. It's okay to not be okay. You're right, of course, about everything that you're saying about her and about her sport. But it's also, we are terrible, I think, as a media at covering mental health, mental wellness, mental illness, all of it. We suck at it. And she's making us sort of stare at it. And it's like looking at the sun. It is excruciating for so many people. But if the last year and a half taught us anything, it's that we're so much less without connections, wherever they come from. And just to your point about this perfect storm, what does that conversation look like if more than just Naomi are leading it?
It's beautiful that you bring that up. I think you're right. The last year and a half has put a huge spotlight on mental health. There are athletes, obviously, who have talked about this before. We had Kevin Love in the NBA, DeMar DeRozan in the NBA. Michael Phelps has talked about mental health. It's becoming more common, but do we grab the story? Do we, in the media, pay attention to the story? And for whatever reasons, this young lady has got our attention. And I could give you a list of reasons as to why. But what is happening is that we're going to have to adjust to a world that is so different. And we cannot continue to be as pro, meaning like we can't continue to say everything is fine, put your head down and do your job. Do you see what just happened in this last year and a half? It's impossible for some people to continue to maybe return to the office, return back to whatever normal looks like. And she has pointed this out in so many eloquent ways. And I hate that she had so much pushback because she simply said she wanted a mental health day. You and I work in a business where mental health days are imperative. If we don't have a mental health day, then how do we get to do what we do? How do we not turn off so that we can come back and fill our cup back up and do work? And that's all she was simply saying. And the conversation now has to be about the French Open and the standards that they have, and the US Open, and the way that the tennis world is approaching this. We have, in this society, you know what we do? We look the other way. We decide not to pay attention because it's too complicated and it's too involved. And that's why the world, as she pointed out, is so divided more than ever in her short 23 years. I believe she's absolutely right. We can no longer look away.
Well, and it is this recurring theme of the last 5 years where nothing is sacred, nothing is spared, not even the things we cherish most universally, you know, the brilliance and the greatness of these, you know, superior athletes. And her athleticism is so spectacular, but she has been very much of the moment. You're right. Someone said to me, you know, some people are asking, you know, they're saying the sport is bigger than she is. Why can't the sport be big enough for her to be in it on whatever terms she wants to be in it on, and other athletes as well?
There's such this, by the way, name a discipline that really has a problem whenever its employee or player becomes bigger than the brand. That then makes people feel as if, oh no, rules have to change, and we start to have to accommodate other players and other employees when they're bigger than the quote unquote brand. And this brand specifically is tennis. It's so unfortunate that we think that way, as opposed to being more inclusive and realizing that she is going to bring more attention to this sport than the last time this sport had this much attention is when the Williams sisters were at their height. They had to deal with their own issues. Like Serena, the same French Open didn't like her cat suit. They banned the outfit that she chose. Are you kidding me? Like, think about how ridiculous that sounds in a world that we live in where all she's doing is trying to use her platform to bring more awareness and more fans to a sport that sometimes people don't always pay attention to. Hey, look, you know better than I do. I think that Naomi is smart. I love that she wrote this because she wanted it to be nuanced. Nothing can get accomplished on Twitter or on Instagram, if you will, or TikTok. And she wanted it to be nuanced, and she wanted to give us thought, and she didn't want to hear what we had to say. And now we're talking about mental health because it is so prevalent and so necessary. And I'll say this last thing. And when you play tennis and you're in a Grand Slam and you have however many matches to make it to the finals, right? She has done that on ample occasion, right? Because she is an excellent player and she has 3 or 4 slams. Here's the reality. You have to do a press conference every single day. And sometimes you're not ready for it. She didn't even get a break. There's no mental, like in basketball, you can take a shower, you come back. Baseball, you can take a minute, you can cool off. It's right from the court into the press conference room. And she's right. I'm exhausted. I'm painfully shy. Can I get a break? There's nothing wrong with that. To refill her cup so she can do it again. And that needs to be the conversation.